All right, guys, so I bought this table saw from a guy. He swears he only used it a couple of times, which I'm pretty sure he did, but he scratched it up a little bit. Nothing major, just clearly not an expert woodworker or even an advanced woodworker, because this is how I bought it. So here's the Ridgid. I've got it laying on its side because I'm out here trying to do this. My wife's trying to help me, but it's pretty heavy, so I'm basically doing it by myself. No offense against her, she's trying. But so the dust collector, he put in upside down. So all the dust has been building up inside the saw, and you can't connect dust collection to it. So I've got to take the base off now. I've got to undo those 4 Allen bolts in the corners, and I've got to flip it over and dump the sawdust out. We'll see how much comes out. So this is what happens when you have your dust collection funnel in your saw reversed. See, he had it like this. The guy I bought this from had it installed backwards. I think it ships that way to you when you buy it for space, and then they expect you to flip it over, and he just never flipped it over. So I bought it not knowing that, until one day I tried to go to 45 degrees on the miter and it wouldn't go, and I found out the carriage, the saw carriage, was hitting this. And as you can see, it kind of bent it there for me trying to, before I realized what was going on, but I can fix that. But yeah, don't do that. That's not good for your saw. He used it a lot, evidently, with it upside down. All right, so we've got this moving like it should now. This is all the sawdust that came out of it. That's a big old mound of sawdust. This is the way it should be moving. The carriage is working correctly. Do know that on these Ridgids, this all thread here is actually pretty thin, and if you crank on it too hard, you can bend that. It's slightly bent from the guy that had it before me trying to crank too hard on it.
You can tell there's a lot of friction down here, but there's not up here.
Yeah, there's it's been eaten up a little bit. You can't really see it that well in the camera, but he had a lot of friction on this thing for some reason. I don't know what he was doing. I don't think he knew what he was doing is the problem. So this is a problem with buying stuff used sometimes. You have all these little unknowns that you find out about stuff. Plus, not only that, but the styrofoam block that's over here, this one, was up in here the whole time rattling around against the blade as you used it. Yeah, he didn't do a very good job. I don't know what he did with this or why or whatever, but yeah, people can ruin stuff very easily. If you don't have the mind to be intuitive enough to figure it out without the instructions, read the freaking instructions. That's why they're there. This is how it always goes. We get out here to do a simple task of ripping down some wood for the trim in the closet, and we end up having to work on equipment more than we get to do the work. This is how my life goes with tree work too. I can't stand equipment. All right, folks, so there we have it. This is back up like it should be. The carriage for the blade is, and the motor is working like it should now. And then that's all the sawdust that came out of this thing. Yeah, that's not good. That much sawdust around the carriage and the motor tends to build up heat. It introduces fine dust even more aggressively into the engine compartment for the little electric motor in there. So yeah, make sure that when you're putting these together, you have that funnel facing downwards, not upwards, and keep your saws cleared out.